What's up, Devils? J-Dog back with another goddamn video. Here to go over some fucking questions, always. Just gotta give me a fucking quickie. Keep it at 20 minutes mark, because I gotta get the fuck out of here and hit the goddamn gym. So, wanted to knock out a quick video for you guys, so I already pulled it up and didn't read shit. It's the next video online. If J-Dog could roadie for one band, who would it be? Posted 2 weeks ago, 840 fucking views. 119 comments, so let's see what we got in there. Ridiculous should be shit about Deicide, which I'm already seeing, because that's the band I think I said I'd roadie for, right? If I had to pick one. Here we go. That's some question marks. From Ryan Itzerta 2. Definitely commented on you before to answer some questions, so here's another one. I've seen Deicide 3 times, and Glenn is cool as fuck. Really? Was it cool as fuck the one time I met him? Hopefully, hoping to meet him next month. He's cool as fuck for that. He hangs at the merch stand. What fucking Deicide shows you going at, bro? I've seen me at Deicide more times than I can count, and I've never seen him at the fucking merch stand. Friendly, taking pictures, shooting the shit, drinking with the real goddamn devils. Goddamn, we talking about the same guy? I've never seen him do that. Last time was when they were touring with Vital Remains, which god fucking damn it was like 10 years ago. Fuck, maybe more. You know, it's funny, I never did get to see him when he singing for Vital Remains, which I regret. One or two times the show came up to Cleveland, and I just couldn't make it. I remember when the night was. Something was going on. Couldn't make it to the show. But I heard, I think it was definitely for Dechristianize, and I think it was like right when it came out. I think for the old song, or maybe Dechristianize might not even been out yet. I can't forget what it was. But anyways, I heard at the show he was singing from the lyric sheet, even though the words, especially from the albums that he's not even on. So, other than that, I would like to say I seen Vital Remains with Climb, but I never did. I'm curious, Ryan. The only thing I kind of think of is for you is, do you live in Florida and anywhere near where Glenn lives? Because the one thing I did notice, like on YouTube videos and shit like that, with live shows, especially the one right post COVID, like the first video, you can YouTube it. It's got quite a few fucking views. It's like I think it's the first show they played live right after the COVID shit. You know, when the restrictions came and bands were doing shows again. He seemed like he's in a really good mood playing his hometown, and it just seems like anytime they're playing Florida, from past videos too, he's in a good mood. So it sounds like to me he's cool in a good mood when he's close to home and just pissed off when he's on the fucking road. So I'd be curious, is that where you're in Florida? And if so, then my theory is probably correct, because I've never, not once, seen him hanging out at the fucking merch stand. Would absolutely love that if that was the case. I wouldn't have to fucking hound, because this time I'm going to have to kind of try to hound his ass down. I already asked my buddy Brian Woody. He has his phone number, knows him, and I told him to kind of give him the heads up. But I told him a couple months ago, so I'll remind him here soon. I don't know if Woody's going to the show or not, because Woody lives in Columbus. I told him, hey, dude, can you kind of give Glenn the heads up? Like, I want to meet him, tell him I'm not some fucking weirdo, and, like, kind of want to shoot a video, you know, him, like, signing my Serpents of Light LP and maybe ask him a couple questions. Because I already feel like I've told before, like, showing on camera, he's going to be not liking that. So, but if he has a heads up, then should be able to. But I'm hoping that's not the fucking case, that I have to, like, hound him down either, because I don't even know if I'll even get the chance to, because it's at the same venue that I saw him last time, which was in 2019. That's the last time I saw Diaz at the Odeon. I don't know where the fuck he was, but damn sure wasn't at the merch stand. From Ryan Zerta too. What the fuck? Shit, he's doing all the question answers down here. J Dog, were you a fan of the heavy metal animated movies? What the fuck were the heavy metal animated movies? I don't even know what you're even talking about. Inform me on that. I'm unaware of them. Ricky Jones, J Dog, has security ever gave you any crap at any show? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever had a problem. Chad Apple, any chance of repress of Unchained the Wolves? Keep up the great work. I think I might have answered that previously. Yeah, there's definitely a chance. We're actually supposed to be doing a bunch of Destroy 666 reissue stuff. Pretty sure it's approved. But KK asked us, and we told him what we wanted to do. And I'm not going to say anything yet, because I'm not certain yet. I haven't seen layouts or anything. Let's just say that. But it's looking pretty good. Eradicate, Devastate, Annihilate. What's up, J-Dog? Favorite bands from Sweden. Keep up the awesome video. God damn it. Whew, shit. Favorite bands from Sweden? I mean, Dismember for sure. And then, I mean, obviously, first two Grave albums, Carnage Dark Recollections, the first Unleashed album. Putrefaction Demo is my favorite, which was a great side project. That was my favorite demo of all time. I mean, first four Bathory records, Dark Funeral, Marduk. Um, love The Crown, especially Death Race King. Throw that out there. A lot of people are going to bring up. First two Vessel Tories are fucking great. Left Hand Path. I mean, tons of good shit. I mean, Entrails. You know, I love Entrails. Birdflesh. Huge Birdflesh fan. Deranged. Vomitory's great. I mean, shitload of bands. All those I own tons of shit by and love. So those weren't just random bands I was throwing out there. Grotesque, In the Embrace of Evil, discs, it's CD and LP, which is like two recordings on one. Huge fan of that. So tons of fun, tons of shit. My all-time favorite, if I had to pick one, as a band as a whole, I'd say Dismember. From Paul Kratz. J-Dog, I notice you like talking about Pete and Angel Corpse. I don't know if I like talking about him, but if he gets brought up, I mean, I have a little bit to say, I guess, you know what I mean? Met him and deal with him on a label, and I love Angel Corpse, so, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I particularly like talking about him. I'm indifferent to the topic. Were you a fan of his previous band, Order from Chaos? In my opinion, who the fuck isn't? Or the other band formed by Order from Chaos members called Erie's Kingdom. I do like Erie's Kingdom as well. Can't say I know everything by them, but I think I own the first two albums. Good stuff. What is that, like Chuck Keller, I think, is on there, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Order of Chaos, fucking great. Stillbirth Machine. And I own, I think, 3 or 4 CDs, 2 LPs, and a couple 7-inches. So I don't think I have everything, but I have most of the stuff. But yeah, I like everything by Order from Chaos. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I have everything, but I think it's whatever else is out there. I think maybe some of the same songs on recordings, but yeah, Order for Chaos. I just always thought that was kind of like a death metal must that like kind of like the old school guys would like, and the new school guys kind of would like too. It's like if you don't like them, it's like, what the fuck, do you like death metal? I mean, I don't know, like pretty goddamn super catchy songs. A lot of black metal guys could probably get into them too. They kind of had that cross area, you know what I mean? Not that they sound like black metal, but you know how like, you know, just even with Pete's voice, how can black metal fans can appreciate it. It's not like it's Chris Barnes or Will Raumer or some shit. The death metal fans like it. So yeah, I think Order from Chaos is great. Death Sandwich, Hell should do a reissue of Deranged is Rated X. If you want the Young Bucks to know what's up. I actually talked about it. I want to, but no point in doing it now. I forget what label I picked up. Maybe it was Regain Records. They did LPs, pretty decent job. They did colored vinyl. They did Rated X and High on Blood, and I picked up the LPs for both of those. We had them in about 1 to 2 years ago. Got a couple of restocks. They sold out right away. But yeah, Deranged is one of those bands too. Nothing by them I think sucks. I mean, there's definitely albums better than others, but even their last couple albums, they're a little bit more. Parts are kind of a little bit bouncy. A couple of the riffs sound almost like a little bit later Dying Fetus. A couple of the other breakdown riffs sound a little bit like later Cannibal Corpse, so kind of like not like pure like Deranged, but I pretty much enjoy everything. I think there's a couple things I'm missing, and maybe I haven't heard, but I've definitely heard and like own like I'd say 90% of the stuff. And yeah, Deranged is great, but I did want to do specifically High on Blood, and actually no, I take that back. My idea, what it was, I said to Eric and Chase, I wanted to do. I think I said the first 5 albums, CDLP reissue. I think I said Plainfield Cemetery down is what I said, because I felt like those were the most worthy as far as just the time frame that they're out of print. Never got an answer or couldn't do them or whatever the fucking lameness was as always. And then a few years later, oh, well, these two are out. I mean, I guess at least somebody did them. But those shouldn't be too hard to find at this point. They sold out from us both times. I'm assuming they're sold out now, but it was like 2 years ago or so I can't imagine they're that hard to find, those reissues. I got the splatter vinyls on both. I believe it's a white base with a red splatter on them. They look pretty sweet. Then there's black. Lamo black, too, in case you like that. Black only, guys. Nasty Antipodian. Good day, J-Dog. What are some of your favorite metal bands from Australia? Cheers, mate. Same questions from Sweden, right? Favorite band would have to be Destroyer 666. Favorite album from there would have to be probably Unchained the Wolves. Gospel of Horns, Atomizer, especially Atomizer, The Only Weapon is Choice. The Incubus Spectral Birth demos. Hobbs Angel of Death, especially the demos in the first album. I would say those are probably my favorites. Is there somebody I'm forgetting favorites wise? There's other bands I definitely like. Newer band that I liked is that Innsmouth, Inns Mouth. If I pronounce that correct, they have like a 212 inches. I thought that was a good band. I'm not definitely not one of my favorites, but just throwing out a newer band is kind of a shout out. The ones I mentioned, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, probably even an earlier band. The ones I mentioned, I would have to say those are probably my favorites. Definitely the ones off the top of my head. Layla Lover 90, have you ever seen gameplay of the newest Mortal Kombats? I know you said you were a fan of the first one on Sega. Who was your favorite fighter? I have not. The last thing I saw was maybe Mortal Kombat 10 on the PlayStation, whatever the hell it is, 3, 4. Even that kind of gave me a headache as far as just because it's all moving around and jumping. You know what I mean? Because all these new systems give me fucking motion sickness, man. So I'm not a big fan of them. But yeah, I was a fan of the Genesis, and I was a fan of the first one and the second one. And my favorite characters in the first one would have been Scorpion. Favorite characters in the second one would have been Baraka. And I put out the challenge several times, especially on MK2. As long as I have a good controller, not this fucking I don't even know what the fuck, just normal controller, 3 buttons, no bullshit. I could whoop anyone's fucking ass on Mortal Kombat 2. $20 a fucking finish it. So best out of 2, 3 wins. Who gets to finish them? $20 a round. I put up the challenge. Just give me 10 minutes to warm up, get my feet wet. I haven't played in 10 years, but I'm very, very confident I can beat anyone. Third one fucking sucked, I thought. Fourth one and all that other shit, I don't even know what system that came out on. Look at this, Vic Legina. All ranged up to Plainfield. Rule. Once I set that Plainfield down, so we would have been picking up the Hell's reissues. The last one blows. I can see that. I mean, the last two or so, at first, when I first put them on, I didn't dislike them, but I was kind of like, this is kind of modern sounding for my taste. This is deranged, but as I got to kind of know them after a few listens, I'm like, these are pretty good. It's definitely not as good as yet, like self-titled album, Rated X, High on Blood, 3. It's definitely not as good as that. I'm not saying that by any stretch, but I enjoyed them. But I could definitely see why someone thinks it blows. I could definitely understand that. Scum Christ 718. Yo, J Dog, have you ever seen GWAR? How do you feel about them? So, no, I've never seen GWAR. I always thought GWAR was one of the bands that I always got asked in my teenage years and even young adult years when people are like, oh, like, see you like metal? Hey, dude, would you like GWAR? And I'm like, oh, God. So I'm just like, oh, this commercialized fucking trendy music that I can't fucking stand, right? So in my mind, it was always just some shitty fucking, I guess, in a sense, kind of like pre-Slipknot band because I knew they dressed up with a mask and shit. And it was actually Kevin from Graveworm. He worked for us for a little bit, and he brought up I think the first album is Scum Dogs. Don't I think that's the first album. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's like, oh, dude, the first album. I think he said the first 2 albums are great, and he brought his CD in. And I want to say it was Scum Dogs, and he put it on the player. And I'm like, oh, this is actually this is pretty good. This is pretty good shit. I mean, the vocals actually were surprising too. There, I was like, this reminds me of Rigor Mortis, the vocals. So I was like, no, I wasn't expecting this at all. So I kind of changed my stance on them. Now, for my days, like, yeah, but they did get kind of fucking start gaying out. But, I mean, I'm not going to bash them for that because, well, I shouldn't say I'm not going to not bash them, but I'm not going to, like, hold that against the fucking gay anything in the past because, well, man didn't gay out. You have a harder time finding ones that didn't than did. So, can't, like, say I'm not going to pick anything up because they gayed out. So did everybody else for the most part. 85% of them, I'd say. Morgoth192. J Dog, since you like the Misfits and the Vladimirs, what do you think of other horror punk bands like Blitzkid and Calvaries. Those specific two bands, I've only seen the names. I think I've seen it on maybe like YouTube or something where it's like, recommended, but I've never actually listened to them, so I don't know them. But there is other horror punk bands I do like. Talked about in the previous video, Crimson Ghost, they're good. Horror 59, they're good. Lurking Corpses, American Werewolves. Um, there's others too, but Eric G. Question was wondering if you had a chance to check out the new entrails. Not yet. I need to buy the LP, color vinyl, then I'll listen to it then. That's why I'm kind of hoping to be first listen, be an LP listen. Uh, Rocky's musical rarities. The chicks were indeed all about typo. Exactly why I do not like it. That was part of the reason I didn't either. Is before I even heard it. To be honest with you, I first heard about typo negative. It is when I was a teenager and shit. To me, they were just some goth band. I didn't even know who. I don't want to say I didn't know who Carnivore was, but I definitely wasn't familiar with Carnivore's music at the time. And because it was kind of like harder to get too, it was out of print at that point. So we're talking late '90s. So I didn't know like Typo Negative had any affiliation with Typo Negative. I found that actually when I became a Carnivore fan. I probably started listening to Carnivore when I was around 19 or 20 is when I heard them for the first time. So a little late to the game, right? But I found out, oh, this is pre-Typo Negative. I'm like, oh, Typo Negative, the band I always hated. So I kind of did go back and actually sit there and listen to one. I'm like, oh, this shit still sucks. I don't like it. Like just boring as fucking piss. And but in high school, I always hated them because I saw the goth girls and just uh, Pete Steele, just this pretty boy, fucking like he's just annoying. I mean, even he was great. Carnivore should be that very well may be, but the guy was still fucking annoying. Like him, like personally, like even when he's alive, like he's nobody I would hang out with by any fucking means. He's just I just find him annoying. He just so happened to be in on two records that I like. Um, but yeah, I always Typo Negative. They were right next to fucking Marilyn Manson and shit. For me, now to their defense, I didn't even hear them at the time. I think the only thing I kind of heard too. Correct me if I'm wrong as well, but I think is remember that kind of like gothy witchy movie, The Craft, I believe it was called. It's with those witches, those chicks that came out, when I was a teenager. I don't know, late '90s, early 2000s. I believe Typo Negative is in that, or it's a movie of the likes. And somebody told me, yeah, so this is Typo Negative, and I was like, oh god, exactly kind of what I thought it would sound like. I don't like it. Keep in mind, this is like young Jada, 15, 16. So all I was listening to, man, was fucking early Incantation, Mortician, Cannibal Corpse, Immolation, uh, Last Days of Humanity, Devourment, Deeds of Flesh, Dying Fetus, uh, just here in Nunslaughter right around that time, and then Black Metal, Marduk, Enthroned, Dark Funeral, and Piety. I mean, that's literally the shit I was listening to. Unlord. Told you I was a young devil when I first heard Unlord. Just kind of got lucky, right? Um, uh, Black Dawn, Blood for Satan. I mean, that was literally the shit I was listening to all of that age, all stuff like that. I wasn't at that point. I wasn't even listening to Iron Maiden stuff. Liked Iron Maiden. That was one of the first bands I heard as a kid, and this was cool. We thought the covers were cool, but as soon as 13, 14-year-old J-Dog was trying to death metal. She said, what do you need this crappy Iron Maiden for? I mean, give me a break. That's for fucking Quakers. Bonus point, if you know the goddamn reference for that's for Quakers. That's why I thought that things like Iron Maiden, I started going back and buying the early albums, stuff like that, when I was like 20, 21, 22. That's like when I first bought Misfits, too. I was 20, I believe. Kind of going back and checking, let's get the oldies. Okay, there's other stuff out there, Baskin Robbins, more than one flavor, dude. You don't just need brutal shit. But the early years, and then you hear Typo Negative, give me a fucking break. What the hell am I gonna do with this? Wipe my ass with that fucking shit. You know what I mean? Typo Negative, get the fuck out of here. So that was that was my take on it. Now I still hear like my buddies Dan Murrow and shit like, yeah, the first album's good. Maybe I'd go and listen to it now and think it's good. Maybe I think I went back and listened to the first album in my adult years. I think it was Craig that put it on because he said he likes the first two or some shit like that. And I think he did. Grant's been quite a while, but I think I might have been 25, 26, 27, somewhere around there when he put it on. I'm like, honestly, dude, I still don't like it. I was like, Carnivore is all I need. So yeah, Type O Navigator, never was a fan. Thought they were excruciating annoying. I'm gonna say I'm annoyed by them anymore. I just think it blows. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on fucking Type O Negative. So that's it for this one, Devils. J-Dog's out of here. Gotta get some shit done. You know what to do. Comments, questions, concerns. Leave them in the fucking comment box, and I'll get them answered bright and early in the morning, as always. Later, goddammit.